I have one.
Go ahead.
Jimmy, apparently you're going to be moved back to the bullpen. Obviously, a chance for more appearances. How will your experience there pay off as a veteran?
Yeah, we've talked about it. And they said that we need somebody that can come in at any point in any game, whether the situation. So I'm not necessarily a closer, but somebody that can come in any leverage situation whenever we need, whether it be 3 innings, 1 out, whatever it may be. And with my experience on the pitching staff, this will help me help guys like Wyatt, who's going to be in the back end of the bullpen as well. Some of these younger guys that may need work with pitching out of the bullpen that have never pitched out of the pen. My experience will help them. I can be a shoulder to lean on for people that need help if they're struggling or whatever it is. And other guys like Sean, who started at UMass, and he's going to be out of the back end of the bullpen as well. He can lean on me to ask me questions, stuff like that, because he's never been out of the bullpen as well. So I'll be a good help for a lot of those younger guys in transfers, since I have thrown out of the pen my freshman year and some of my sophomore year. So they wanted me to do that, and that's what's going to be best for the team, because we need a guy that can be out of the pen at any point in time.
John Wong.
Hey, Jimmy, it just means more. You've been through the gauntlet of the SEC several times. What advice do you have for maybe some of the younger guys who don't know how difficult it really is going to be?
Biggest thing I can say is it's a long season. I might get punched in the face right away, but it is a long SEC play. I mean, it's 10 weeks of the best baseball you've ever played before. So you just can't get your head down if you're struggling, because if your head's down in the SEC, it's not going to get back up if you don't fight it. Because I mean, it is. I've had my downs in the SEC, and I struggled with that to keep my head up throughout some of those times, and it kicks you in the butt if you don't have your head up. So that's my biggest thing is there's a lot of weeks, a lot of games. If you have one bad performance, you can't let that affect you going out the next time. Otherwise, you're going to get in a spiral that you can't get out of.
Eric.
Hey, Jimmy. So obviously last year was such a small sample size, but I was just wondering what work you've done this offseason to try to cut down on the walk rate.
So a lot of that was trying to be a perfect pitcher. So that was me and coaches all talked about. I was trying to place the ball and not necessarily just trust my stuff. That's something in the fall. I only had 3 walks throughout the whole fall. You just said, I mean, your stuff when you're in the zone is when it's best. You don't need to place it out of the zone, do anything like that. I mean, if you throw a 2-seam down the middle, you're going to have a better chance getting a guy out than throwing a ball. So that's the biggest thing, was trusting my stuff and not trying to be a perfect pitcher and just kind of attacking the hitters and being aggressive and just putting the ball in the zone, because that's when the best things happen, is when you pour the ball in the zone.
Sweet. Thanks.
Keith Farmer.
Yeah, we were just talking with the other guys about how, the season ended last year, and John was talking about how he felt and the anger he felt. Just take me back to that time with you and just confusion, anger, whatever you were feeling and how you dealt with it.
So the biggest thing was I was just disappointed because our pitching staff was really getting into a groove. I mean, that last weekend we did really well. All of our starters went more than 5 innings. We gave up minimal runs. Offense was starting to click. So it was just kind of like, I was in shock. So I was like, damn, this is like, we were really starting to get going. Like we were really starting to find a groove. And I actually stayed here for a while after that happened. I finished my classes and stuff, and it was kind of weird to just not be able to go to the field, even though I was here, had to find other places to throw. I mean, it was sad because it was like, well, I mean, at that time I was worrying about it. And now that I'm kind of matured a little bit throughout this, knowing that it's out of my control, I was worrying about stuff that I can't control. Like I can't come to the field. And like, I mean, I was complaining about it, and if I complain, nothing's going to happen. So I started to realize that it's out of my control. Got to stop worrying about what I can't control. So then I just kind of worked on myself, started reading more books, just worked on myself, worked on my mental game, all the stuff that I could work on without being able to go to the field. So I had that little time span where I was mad, disappointed, confused. But overall, I was pretty good about it, and I worked on myself, got a lot of running in, did stuff that I could do where I didn't have a weight room to go to. So I got some stuff done, but yeah, I was a little angry because I mean we were about to go to Vanderbilt, and I thought at that point our team was ready to play Vanderbilt, and they didn't know what was coming. I mean they were definitely looking down on us, and we were about to come out, and we were a good team, and so I was a little disappointed and angry, but we got over it, and I think our team this year is at a spot that we never were last year already. So I'm really excited for that.
Dick Gabriel.
Yeah, Jimmy, I don't know if you're aware of this. Maybe it's because you're the most senior-most pitcher on the squad, but your body language is basically pretty easy to read. I mean, it's simple for us upstairs to tell if you're zoned in, if you're in that groove. Are you aware of that? Is that something that you have worked on in terms of the concentration?
Yes. Me and Coach Roselle kind of talked about how I need to just be on that predator mentality, that closer mentality every inning, coming out as if my first inning's my last inning, whatever it may be. He said you just need to be locked in on that moment, that pitch, and not worry about 4 innings down the road or second time through the lineup. He said treat every pitch like the most important pitch. So we kind of worked on that, and in the fall and the spring scrimmages so far, I've been a lot better about it, and I've been locked in. Coach Minge complimented me in the first scrimmage saying that I came out with a closer mentality, and I was locked in from pitch one, and it didn't take me an inning or two to get locked in. He said it was very impressive, and it was good to see because I came out and I was locked in from pitch one. I didn't take a couple pitches to get locked in, and it's like, oh, well, now there's a guy on second and third. Now it's time to get locked in. It was more of I was locked in from pitch one. I was on the attack. So we have worked on that a lot.
All right, we'll wrap up with John Wong.
Jimmy, the depth of the pitching staff is an obvious advantage to the team. It gives Coach Minge a lot of pieces to kind of move around, so that's good. But from an individual standpoint, how difficult it is for you to maintain the proper mindset of knowing that, hey, maybe my role could change, and do you have much input into what your role will be?
I try to stay out of that, and I just try to embrace whatever I'm given on the team. So whether it be a closer, reliever, middle reliever, starter, whatever it may be, I try to just lock in on that role and be the best that I can be in that role. When I was younger, like sophomore, freshman year, I kind of got wrapped up more into like might not be the role that I desire most. But if I can help the team in a certain role and the coaches see me in that role being the most beneficial, then I need to lock in on that role and be the best I can be in that place at that time.
All right, guys, we appreciate it. Schedule is up online. The media guide is online if you need any of those references. And we'll be sending out some more